like I said, it was so funny. I helped some guy. He was one of these crazy, what do they call, anarchist kind of people.
Right.
Who he was throwing a whole bunch of rocks at a bank window, him and his buddy, and they broke in all the windows in the bank in North Carolina from a rooftop from across the street. So obviously they got arrested. This man was 37 years old, and I could see if he was 17 or something like that, but this guy was 37 years old. I mean, Andy Griffith, they had this little guy who would throw rocks through windows. Ernest T. Bass would throw rocks through the window. And that's what this guy reminded me of. He was like 37 years old, throwing rocks through the bank window at 2 o'clock in the morning just to protest the banks or whatever he was thinking. I don't know. But anyway, he asked me for help. I said, yeah, sure. I said, it's the most ridiculous thing I ever heard, but yeah, I'll get you out of it. So it was easy to get him out of it because I knew the bank has an insurance company, and they are insured for damage to the bank. So it was the state of North Carolina versus this man, and all I basically did was to explain in a notice that the state has no standing because the state has no loss. The state has not accrued any kind of harm or injury or damages due to this man's acts. This was conducted against private property because when a bank is closed or anything is closed, it converts over from public property to private property. So this man trespassed upon private property. The bank has been indemnified through their insurance company, and the only persons that would have a legitimate claim or complaint of damages would be the insurance company. And I don't see where the insurance company is before this court at this time seeking compensation for the money that it laid out to replace those windows. So I require this case to be discharged in its entirety. So the judge saw that, and the judge discharged the case. But what was funny is the judge said, okay, fine, this case is discharged. And the guy smiled at the judge, and the judge says, what are you doing? And the guy said, what? He says, 30 days, contempt of court. So, see, I love that judge because the judge was like, this little bastard got away with it by using, the law. He knows the law. He got away with going out to jail for 30 days, 60 days, 90 days and breaking the bank windows. He's not going to pay for the bank windows, and he's going to get out of jail free by this piece of paperwork that, somebody like Karl Lentz put in there for him. So he's going to walk out scot-free. And he knew this 37-year-old man was laughing, thinking like, I broke all the bank windows and I'm getting away with it. So as soon as the judge said, okay, case discharged, the guy smiled. He says, why are you looking at me like that? He said, looking at you like what? He said, 30 days, contempt of court. So he didn't give him fair warning.
Well,
so like I said, when you're in their court, I don't care if you put the best paperwork in like I did for this guy, and I don't care if your case gets discharged. I'm telling you, if the judge is going to put you in jail for 30 days, 60 days, 90 days to teach you a lesson, he's going to do it. And it was so funny because the guy's mom called me up. He says, she said, he's in jail. I said, what? It didn't work? She said, no, the case was discharged, but the judge said he didn't like the way he looked at him at the end of the he said, what? He said he smiled and he looked at the judge, but the guy wears like Coke bottle glasses. I don't know what he meant by he gave this judge a look. He said he just looked at the judge, and the judge said, why are you looking at me like that? He said, look at me like what? He was like, 30 days, contempt of court, take him away. So like I said, when you're in there,
what was the reasoning for the 30 days?
Just because the judge didn't like the way he was looking at him.
Okay, but he can't put that on the record like that. Something's going to have to show up on the docket sheet, right? I mean, it's going to have to say...
contempt of court, that he was just in contempt. Yeah. And that's it. It's so funny. I mean, when these judges want to get...
He should have just kept his mouth shut then.
Yeah.
There's almost nothing he could have done. Almost nothing that he could have done. But just the same thing that happened with me in England and Bali and them. All his Punjabis friends, when the judge said case discharged, all of the little Punjabis, well, some of them were tall, these Punjabis started to clap. And I jumped up and I said, in little court decorum, please. I said, keep it in your pants. Wait till you get outside. Wait till you take it home. We're in a public setting. Stop clapping. And it was so funny. I said to them, the judge hasn't removed himself from the bench. He could have said, did I say discharged? I said, no, guilty is charged. I said, you guys just got to calm it down. I said, he hasn't left the bench. you can reverse the decision. Oh, it's hysterical, man. You know how it's just, these guys. I said, the prosecutors, I said, they have feelings too. I said, you don't see them when they win. You don't see them cheering that they got a conviction. I said, a little court decorum, a little discretion, please.